For this video, we're going to begin to describe our homes by using the verb I. This is one of the very few chances that I can say in Spanish that this is going to be an easy verb. You know, normally we have to conjugate the verbs 5 or 6 different ways, but in this case, I, which it looks like hey, but we pronounce it like the I's you use to see. It's going to mean there is or there are, so you don't have to worry about changing it from singular to plural. There's no subject, you're just describing things around you, so you don't have to worry about the yo form, the to form. This is really rare and it's a very useful verb. So I have a couple floor plans here, depending on what your house is like, but I'm going to go ahead and just label real quick the different rooms, just in case. This is a baño. We have a dormitorio, and it's okay if you have heard a different word for dormitorio. There's about 5 of them. So you'll hear different versions of that. You might hear habitación. You might hear cuarto, which is just a room. Alcoba, which is used in Spain. I like to use dormitorio because the verb dormir means to sleep. So it's easier to remember if you're studying the word roots. But any of them are fine. We have sala and cocina. So if the first one were my house or my apartment, more likely, I could say I'm going to put either un or una, because I'm looking at this, I see there's only one of each. Hay un baño. Since this is masculine, I have to make sure I'm using un. Hay una cocina. So this is going to have an A since we're talking about a feminine word, and so on and so forth. That's how we would do it if we were talking just about one place in the house, but most of us will probably have 2 or more bedrooms, maybe 2 or more bathrooms. So I'm going to show you the plural version as well. Okay, so for the plural version, we can look at the house below, which is obviously much bigger, has a lot more things. So we kind of have 2 extremes here. So let's start with bedrooms, because that's typically what people will have more than one of. In our first example, we said, hay un dormitorio. But now below, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think I'm missing any. I think there's 4. So I'm going to say hay 4 dormitorios. Since there's more than one, just like in English, I'm putting the S at the end. There are 4 bedrooms. And what else do we have over here? How many bathrooms do you see in this picture? Looking at it, I see 1, 2. It looks to me like 2, so I will say hay 2 baños. Now, it's not too different from English when you're just saying there are 4 bathrooms. There are 2 parking spaces. There are 3 tables. But it's when we put the adjective after the noun that we have to do a little bit of extra work. So I want to show you an example of that. You can see it here, the colors. But maybe we want to say there are 2 big bathrooms. And the word for big would be grande. Or what if they're small? So the opposite would be pequeño. We have to make sure that any adjectives in Spanish are going to match our noun in both the gender and if it's singular or plural. This is extra steps for us. We have to make sure it goes behind the noun. We have to make sure it matches the gender, and we have to make sure it matches singular or plural. 3 things we're not used to doing in English. So let me say, I'm going to use the same example with the bathrooms. Hay dos baños. To me, they look pretty big because it looks like they're actually in 2 parts, each of them. Grandes. So here, I show you, I have to make sure I put an S on the adjective as well as the noun. Now with grande, it ends in an E, so I don't have to worry about changing it. But if I were talking about pequeño, am I talking about maybe the kitchen, then I would have to change pequeño to pequeña. So what I want you to do is to go ahead and describe your own house. I'm going to give you an example of mine in just about a second. And I'm going to draw it out too, because for me, I think it's easier if you just sketch it out and you can kind of organize your thoughts a little better. So I have a blank slate. I'm going to draw a very, very rough sketch of my home. It doesn't have to be anything amazing. But I have 2 floors. They're kind of rectangle shaped. So I'm going to start there. Okay, this is my front door just for reference. And then I have, this part here. This part. I'm just going to quickly draw it out, and then I'm going to label it. And then that way you can see a little better when I start to talk what I'm talking about. Stairs. These are my stairs that go from the first floor to the second floor. Okay, now I'm ready to label. Downstairs I have my sala, my cocina. This is a small bathroom, baño. And then I have my oficina. This is kind of just an area, I would call it, I guess, a comedor, a dining room. Because we have a table there, but it's just kind of an open space. And then upstairs, I have un dormitorio. Then I have another one, numero dos. And then I actually have a third one over here. And another bathroom, but this one is a much bigger bathroom. So I'm going to make sure to include that in my description. So now that I have this ready, I feel comfortable with making some sentences with I. So I'm going to start off with the downstairs. Hay una sala hay una cocina grande. I have a large kitchen, just one, so I don't have to worry about putting S's, and grande is already gender neutral. And then I can say, hay un baño pequeño. That's a small bathroom. And then upstairs, I trace, I'll write the word out too, dormitorios grandes. These are all the same size pretty much. They're all big, so I'm making sure I have my S's on both my noun and my adjective. And that's how you can go ahead and start to describe your house. Realistically, I would probably say it this way. I would say maybe there are 2 bathrooms, and then I would separate them into, there's one small bathroom and there's one large bathroom. But it's any way that you feel that you would naturally describe your house is what I would like for you to do. And you're welcome to use other adjectives. I think it's easier to start with small and big or colors. If your walls are painted colors, mine happen to all be white. But if you start with these, it's not going to be so intimidating to change the adjectives to make sure that they're matching up in gender and in number, as if we have 10 or 20 adjectives to choose from. It can get a little confusing. So I'm happy if you can explain it in a simple way like this to begin, and we can always go back and add more later on. That's going to be it for this video.